Hey everyone, and welcome to a little end of year special on my channel. Thank you for clicking in. I hope you have a few minutes for me to sit down together and recap a little bit of 2020 in order to, just end the year properly. Originally, I planned to do my 50k thank you video for you guys, but to really get that out of the way quickly, the main reason why I didn't do this is I just did not have enough time to make it quality-wise to a level that I love to have it, and I don't want to rush it, and so I'm just going to finish it and then it's going to be released during the next couple of days. I did already do some stuff, but I just felt it's not fair to rush it. I mean, I could have done it, but then I would need to just, get up very early, or at least stay awake super long and just be tired and stuff. And I had a lot of stuff to do, and this is already jumping into the topic of it. So 2020 has been a weird year, as we all can say, and I'm really not trying to talk around this. 2020 has been potentially the weirdest year of all of our lives so far. Maybe the older ones have had weirder years as well, around the 90s or maybe in the 80s. But in general, it comes very close to being the weirdest year in my life. And I'm already over 30 years as well. Not necessarily for me personal. I want to just kind of reinforce that I'm doing quite well, to be honest. This year has been rather successful for me on YouTube, but also in job, even though there was a bit of a dent in the middle of the year where everyone was uncertain and didn't know what was going on. But wherever there is something bad, there is always a chance. And, as many people have stayed at home, of course, some other things have been benefiting from that. And this is obviously, YouTube is one of those things. You can imagine that loads of things did not work anymore. People could not go out, people could not do their sports, people just couldn't do anything outside. So they stayed inside, and what they did obviously is they watched videos and watched Netflix and whatnot. But it meant that obviously we as people doing YouTube had a bigger audience. Monetary wise or money wise, it didn't really do much, because in the middle of the year, when there was like incredible amount of views, for example, and I don't want to bother you too long with that, there was basically no ad money, because also the advertisers were very uncertain of the situation. But this is exactly the point where I want to just kind of join in, because this is where my year has been pretty amazing, and this is growing the community here on YouTube, on Twitch, in my Discord. It's definitely something I want to talk more about with you guys, because I think it's not said enough that you guys make this channel. You as the viewers are the main reason why I can do this and why I keep on doing this. And I've got a lot of things that I will address in the 50k Q&A and in the 50k video just in general. But one thing I wanted to address already in today's video is the story, how I came to YouTube and why I'm doing YouTube. Because it seems, especially for the people that haven't been with me for so long and just joined recently, and since the channel has grown significantly over the course of the year, that's a valid point. Many people don't know it, and many people still believe that I did YouTube intentionally, and that I kind of had the idea to go to YouTube and just do it, just kind of waking up at one morning, hey, I'm gonna be a YouTuber. But that's not exactly how it worked out, and it also is not how it was. So the story is basically pretty simple, but simply great, if to say it that way. So it appeared that in 2016, in the beginning of the year, I suffered from a bad, it wasn't a flu, it was something also a virus, but another one, and not a deadly one, and not a widespread one. I just had it. I don't know how I caught it. It was somewhere on the plane going from Berlin back to Düsseldorf, I don't know, and I felt terribly bad for like 3.5 weeks. I was in bed, and was just like really, I think that was the one big time where I couldn't go to work because being sick out. I think since then maybe a week or so, and it appeared that I developed a certain I want to call it nubble wobble, I don't know, even like a bulb on my throat, actually, to the outside on the skin. So basically what happened is that there is a little infection that went in there, and then it just kind of blew up, it grew, and there was like a little bit of a bacteria in there. And normally when you've been sick that long and being infected that long, It just appears and then it goes back, but mine didn't go back. And then I needed to have like surgery, and they just cut it away and just kind of stitched it and blah blah blah. And it appeared that I couldn't go to work for 1 week then, because I literally couldn't walk or move, because I had a little pipe going in there. There was a tiny bit of, yeah, let's not talk about that, that needed to go out, and then you just kind of have that. But why am I saying that? Well, the thing is that I kind of needed to stay at home, and it appeared that Planet Coaster at that time was released, and I was on the verge of stopping to play computer games anyways, because, you know, we've grown out of the youth days where all of my friends have been gathering together in the evening playing some Battlefield or playing some other games like Counter-Strike and racing games and FIFA and, you know, these types of games, like competitive games. And I was not really always really good in it. I was pretty decent in Pro Evolution Soccer, but no one played it. So, well, I was good at racing games, but none of my friends played it. So, yeah, it started to be a little bit less interesting for me, and I had other focuses. And before I really thought about it, Minecraft was the last game I was really playing, and then it just also appeared that me and my brother, we stopped playing together Minecraft. He had become very professional in Call of Duty 4, and so he was only playing that game. And yeah, I just kind of idled around, and I think my computer was becoming more or less just not relevant to me anymore. And then it appeared this week of not being able to do anything. I spent at home discovering Planet Zoo for me, Planet Coaster at that time. And yeah, I still don't know why till this day, why I decided to build such a crazy stuff. And I basically started to recreate Space Mountain from Disneyland Paris. And a week later, or in the week still, because I legit had like 10 to 20 hours a day building in there. And then I just built a Star Destroyer in Planet Coaster. And don't ask me why. Because I could. I think that's the reason why. Now, the main thing that happened then was that my brother took a screenshot from me that I sent to him, and he posted that on a forum, I guess, and on a Facebook page. And somehow a developer of the game back then, or like a community manager, saw that picture, and I don't know, it was just starting with a comment and then starting with like a PN, and we were chatting forth and back, and that was the awesome Dale, by the way. And then they shared it also on their Twitter, and what appeared to be just a little minor thing ended up in an invitation to the Gamescom 2016. And prior to the Gamescom, and that's the fun part actually, people like, I talked to the devs and I talked to Dale, and they were asking me a few things, and I couldn't really explain that in a mail or writing this down because I sucked at it. And I decided to do a video, and I uploaded the video to a YouTube channel that I created years before for something totally different. That's also where the name comes from, but that's for another video. And I just, I thought it was a good idea to upload that on a channel that is not my private one. And I think it was a good idea. I think it genuinely was a great idea, because that ended up having, I think, 15,000 views or something in a week, which for a channel that didn't exist before, well, it existed longer, but it just didn't exist in terms of having content. So in terms of YouTube, it really didn't exist. And then, yeah, the channel just kind of kickstarted crazily, and I had in a split second of time, so to say, I had like 400 or 500 subscribers on this tiny little channel. And I at this point I did not really believe I was a YouTuber, not at all. I think it took me over a year that I realized, okay, I could call myself a YouTuber now. I think it wasn't until the Frontier Expo in 2017, I guess. But anyways, that was like how it all started. And then 2017, 2018, 2019 have all been rather successful, especially 2019 with the launch of Planet Zoo. But since this was very late in the year, the real benefit from it was translated into 2020. And this is now the reason why I told you this story. I still hope you guys found that a little bit interesting. 2018 has been good, but 2018 has also been weird because I married my wife, which is still one of the greatest things I've ever decided to do, if not the greatest. And during that time, I really was thinking about if I continue with the YouTube channel or not. It wasn't doing like super well. It was doing okay, but like not to a point where I was saying I need that. And when we were going on our honeymoon, I just realized, okay, you know what? I just miss it. I really do miss it. And then 2019 happened, and from the emotional feeling that I'm bond to the channel and to you guys as a community, grew a feeling of responsibility for the channel, because I loved what I did, but I also loved the reactions and stuff. And I started to treat it a tiny bit more professional, a tiny bit more. Beforehand, it was really just a hobby, and I really didn't give a rat's ass about, scheduling stuff or whatever. I just did whatever, and some sloppy things happened and whatnot. And I just started to treat that a little bit more professional, and it just worked well, I guess. It was okay. And you have to pay huge thanks to all the people, the amazing people from the quality team, and also in the community in general, like from the core days. There are a lot of people, I can't name them all. And I think also Frontier as a development company, they gave us always a good chance to be on events and stuff. But then, 2020 happened, and since everything just went weird after March, everything changed. And as I said, a lot of people were staying home. And this is the year where I think I got to know you guys as a community so much better, that I now really understand what this all means to me. So it has grown from a hobby to, so let's say, a semi-professional hobby, to more than that. It's a very professional hobby, if you want to call that, by now. And it's not my plan to make this a full-time job. It's not, but it's a plan to make it a full-time relationship with you guys. In order to say, I want to keep the communication the way it is. And I really hope that you guys keep on doing what you do. And this is just plain simple, watching my videos and take part in the comment section or in my Discord channel. That's all I'm asking for. This is the best thing, let's not talk about views and crap. Let's not talk about money. Let's not talk about everything like that. Just let's talk about what really made 2020 good. The world came even closer together, despite borders, despite locked borders. The first time in my life, freaking Europe was locked. I couldn't go to the Netherlands. I couldn't legit go out of my home and then 30 minutes over the border to the Netherlands. It just didn't work for the first time in my entire life. But I've never felt closer to all the people around the world than this year, because everything that has grown over the years was showing to work, because we all share the same passion. We all think the same, despite of obviously having a lot of different opinions. But we kind of agree on the fact that there are no limits to communication across the globe with many different religions and many different cultures, many different languages. It just works. And this year has been the final proof for me that this is something I really do love. I love it a lot. It's really the one thing that I never wanted to do, but I also do not want to miss anymore. That's the one thing I never knew I need. And I need, it's the one thing that just kind of developed naturally, organically over the years. And I think I still do deeply believe that for the majority of people, not for all, but for the majority of people, YouTube can't work as a business from the very beginning. It has to be growing from a passion that is more than just a responsibility or a job. It has to be something that makes you do more than you would necessarily do for something else. The thing why I'm saying that is that a couple of days ago, I made my tax declaration, and I had some fuss there. They just ask questions, a lot of questions, because obviously, first of all, they don't believe what you do, but whatever. It's kind of still a little bit of a weird thing in Germany. There are not really great rules, and you have to be very careful what you say. But since I always am very honest with what I'm 100% honest, because I'm too scared to do something wrong. But I needed to type down and write down my hours I put into my second job, YouTube, so to say, because they don't treat that as a hobby. They treat it as a job, a secondary job. And that's also why I pay huge amounts of taxes for that. And it's been eye-opening for me how many hours a day and a week I put into this. So now I can safely say that over 4.5 hours on average I put each and every day in YouTube. If you think about that, I released over 400 videos over the last, I think, 366 days. It's ridiculous. I spend many hours of my life thinking about projects, thinking about your comments, answering your comments, and I all did this out of pure passion for what I'm doing here. So yeah, I think this was needed to talk so long about that, to show you why this is so special for me. And I really know that this video over here is, again, like the one from last year. I'm going to link this, by the way, from last year, because you can see how much Yosemite also developed. I deeply think the people who watch this video deserve these words, because naturally not that many people watch this type of video. It's normal because, you know, you want to see content, you want to see animals diving, you want to see me building a shelter. I don't know, you want to see me digging a hole in Minecraft. I don't know what you want to see, because if I knew, I would be even bigger, and I don't know, we would all eat together in a freaking villa I just bought for us. I don't know, just fooling around here. But no, I mean, it's just like legit the one thing I want to do is just having fun here and increase the interaction with you even more. So whenever you have time or the feeling you want to ask me something, even if it's not related to YouTube or the video, but just drop it down in the comments. If you have questions to other people, if you have general questions, you just put them down, you know. If you have questions to the topic, put them down. And if you want to get into closer contact, go into the Discord channel. People are very friendly and very lovely. And yeah, I think 2020 was a hard year for every one of us. And I want to come back a little bit to you guys. I talked a lot about me now, but I want to come back to you. And I think every single one of you who now is sitting there and listening to me, while you see my penguins in the background enjoying the habitat, you can be happy, because you can share your passion with a lot of people that do share the same. Whatever might have happened to you, which might be sad, might be very sad, might be heartbreaking, there is someone out there in here that knows that you are not alone, and that can show you, or who can show you that you are not alone. And we can all try to just, you know, welcome you as good as we can, as well as we can, in our community, and to give you some warm feelings and maybe a little laughter, maybe something where you just fool around with other people about me, you know, speaking weird English again, or killing a dog in Minecraft that I just wanted to pet actually, and all these kind of weird things, little things, like these little tiny things. And if there's a year to start enjoying the little things, it is 2020. It has been 2020. And I know, you know, I don't want to start the crap with like, we have to look at the bright side. No, but we can agree on the fact that 2020 in comparison has been a shit year. We have to say it that bluntly honest, because we are used to such a free world, you know, that this obviously was a different year for us. And it's continuing a little bit, unfortunately. But still, I think it's very important now for you to notice that you have a lot of good things in your life still. There are a lot of good things, even though if it might not seem that way. The last 2 years, and especially the last year, showed me that there is more. And there's one last thing I want to talk about, and this is IRL, in real life. I always saw that as a given, how people used it on social media and everywhere. They always used it as a going private. I want to call it going private. For me, this all over here is IRL. This is real life. This is part of my life. I'm spending 4.5 hours of my reality doing this stuff. It is IRL. I just don't want to call it anything else. It is real life. It is part of my life, and I'm proud of it. It's proudly part of my life. And I don't want to use IRL anymore to say that I'm doing other stuff that is basically the same. If I'm playing football, that's IRL. But then again, this over here is IRL too, because it's the same. I enjoy it, okay? So whenever I go private, that means I'm logging off, I'm having time with my wife, I'm having time with my family, friends, whatever. This is private stuff, okay? But this is all real life, okay? You guys are real. Every single one of you is real. And we helping you, chatting to you, answering your comments, answering your questions, being together with you in Discord, playing together among us, you know, we are all real. This all happens in real life. And this is, it's the same. And this year offered us the opportunity to get closer to each other. So please let us use it and let us grow this over the next couple of years. And if there's such a kind of shit situation coming again, we are prepared, you know? We can gather around looking at virtual animals, but having actual real fun and real heartwarming moments and just a good time together. And yeah, it is allowed to have a good time during bad times. And it's not even allowed. Actually, you have to have it. It's a request, okay? It's definitely, I say it for you, it's a task, okay? It's your task to be happy even in the most darkest and weirdest situations. And if you've lost someone, and yes, I'm speaking it out loud now because I know a lot of people that have the same faith this year in the same situation. Yes, you are allowed to laugh the next day. You are also allowed to be happy 2 days later, because trust me, your beloved person would have loved to see that as well. And yes, you will be sad for a long time. Everyone will be sad for a long time, but it is allowed and even needed. You have to be happy again, because that is what makes your heart go further and makes you, just get along better with the situation. And I don't want to end this on a sad note. I want to end this on a very positive note. I thank all of you, every single one of you, for being incredible people, sharing my passion with me, and for being someone who feels good looking at my stuff, for being a person who clicks the like or the dislike button, for being a person who just jumps into the comment section and tells me they've been first. I'm also thankful for the people giving me criticism. I'm thankful for every single one of you jumping into my Discord and being active in there or just lurking. I'm happy for the people that came into my channel, and I'm also happy for all of you guys making friends via this community. It's incredible, and it just gives me a lot, and I hope you guys can take out a lot of it. Now, yeah, let's end it here. I hope you guys enjoyed today's little little talk video, little penguin podcast, because in the background you always have the penguin noises. Let me know in the comments down below what you enjoyed in this year, okay? Let's focus on the good things. Tell me one thing in the comments that you enjoyed in 2020, and let's move on to a better year, okay? Let's move on to 2021, and I wish you guys all the best, and I talk to you in the next one, in the next year. Goodbye, and stay safe.